Picture this. Habs faithful. The Montreal Canadiens are locked in a thrilling Eastern Conference final against the Carolina Hurricanes. Series tied 1-1. Heading back to the Roaring Bell Center for Game 3. And at the heart of this improbable, electric run is a man who, just 5 months ago, was drowning on the other side of the continent, searching for his identity in a Los Angeles Kings uniform. Phillip Danault is back. Back where he belongs. Back where the CH beats in his chest like a second heartbeat. And right now, in the most critical moments of the NHL season, he is playing the best hockey of his life. Let's set the scene in Raleigh, North Carolina, following a gut-wrenching 3-2 overtime loss in Game 2 at Lenovo Center. Despite the painful defeat, Danault stood in the visitors' locker room, radiating a calm, composed confidence that only comes from a man who knows exactly where he belongs. "It's the best feeling in the world," he said. "Playoffs are the best thing, and producing the playoffs is even better." These aren't the words of a player merely going through the motions. These are the words of a warrior who has found his purpose, his people, and his moment. Let's talk about what Danault has done offensively in this playoff run, because the numbers are nothing short of staggering for a player whose reputation has always been built on defensive excellence. Through his first 8 playoff games, Danault had just a single point, 1 assist. The hockey world was beginning to whisper. Was the trade worth the second-round pick? Was he too far gone, too diminished by 5 years in Los Angeles? Then something clicked. Something shifted deep within the competitive soul of the Victoriaville native. He has recorded 9 points in his last 8 games, including 4 points across the first 2 games of the Eastern Conference Final alone. He scored Montreal's first goal in a historic Game 7 victory over the Buffalo Sabres in the second round. He scored our second goal and set up our third in the dominant 6-2 Game 1 demolition of the Hurricanes. And in Game 2, despite the overtime heartbreak, he assisted on both of Josh Anderson's goals, keeping us in a game that could have slipped away entirely. This offensive explosion is remarkable precisely because nobody expected it. Danault has always been known for his defensive game, his shutdown ability, his elite face-off winning percentage, his relentless penalty killing. These are the hallmarks of his career, the nuts and bolts contributions that don't always show on the score sheet, but consistently lead to winning results. But now, in the twilight of a career that looked to be fading in Los Angeles, Danault has added a devastating offensive dimension to his already complete two-way game. His bread and butter, as he himself describes it, has always been defense. But right now, in the biggest games of the season, he is a complete, multidimensional threat who opposing coaches must account for every single shift. The journey back to this moment was not a straightforward one. Danault played 30 games with the Kings this season, registering just 5 points while averaging 16 minutes of ice time. His defensive game remained solid, his face-off number still strong, but something essential was missing. He was drowning, disconnected from the passion that fuels elite performance. Then, on December 19th, Kent Hughes threw him a lifeline, acquiring him from Los Angeles in exchange for a second-round pick in the 2026 NHL Draft. It was a stroke of genius from Hughes, a move that seemed modest on the surface, but has proven to be one of the most impactful acquisitions of the entire season. But even after the trade, the transition wasn't immediate. Danault had to learn how to mesh his game with the Canadiens' unique style under Martin St. Louis, a system built on pace, speed, skill, and the freedom to make plays without sacrificing defensive structure. It took time. It took patience from the coaching staff and belief from his teammates. Josh Anderson captured the evolution perfectly. The more comfortable he got, you could see his game just evolve. His awareness to win faceoffs, defend, he's hard to play against. You're seeing him rise to the occasion lately, and he's obviously a huge part of our team. This is a Martin St. Louis effect in its purest form. A coach who unlocks players, who gives them the freedom and confidence to become the best versions of themselves. The impact Danault has on our roster structure extends far beyond his individual statistics. Captain Nick Suzuki, who texted Danault the moment the trade was announced and sat down with him in Boston for a long conversation about desire and winning, benefits enormously from Danault's presence. Suzuki is a 101-point player and a Zelka Trophy finalist, a matchup nightmare for opponents. But even he cannot do everything alone. Danault gives Suzuki relief. taking critical defensive zone faceoffs, killing penalties, and absorbing the difficult defensive assignments that could otherwise wear down our captain over the course of a deep playoff run. As St. Louis succinctly put it, he fills in a chair a role that we needed. We have some great young players, tons of skill, and we need to have some veteran guys that can play a different role. Then there's a leadership dimension, perhaps the most underrated aspect of Danault's return. Anderson noted that Danault has become increasingly vocal in the dressing room. He spoke up during Game 7 against the Sabres. He had words after the first period of Game 1 against Carolina when we were leading 4-1, ensuring the team maintained its focus and didn't let the game slip away. Jake Evans described the calming effect Danault brings. Off the ice, it's experience. On the bench, he's been through a lot of these situations. On the ice, I find him to be really just a calm player. He wins a lot of face-offs. When things are getting tough for us, you want a guy like that out there. Lane Hudson added, the leadership he brings, he really drives our room in his own way. Definitely a big piece for us, and we're so happy to have him. And of course, the pizza parties are back. The legendary tradition that began on June 24th, 2021, when Danault memorably ate pizza during a virtual press conference after Montreal defeated Vegas to advance to the Cup final, has been gloriously revived. After Game 7 in Tampa, after Game 7 in Buffalo, Danault, slices in hand, delivering pizza to teammates like Mike Matheson while speaking with reporters. It's a celebration ritual that perfectly captures the joy, the camaraderie, and the winning culture this team is building under Martin St. Louis. So, let's throw a tough question into the mix to spark some heat in the comments. Danault is currently one of the most impactful players in our entire playoff run. Yet Kent Hughes acquired him for just a second-round pick in December. Given his extraordinary performance, is this the best trade Kent Hughes has made since taking over as general manager? Or do you think another acquisition deserved that title? What's your call? Danault is a steal of the decade? Or is there a more impactful Hughes move you'd argue for? I want to hear your takes. Let's get the debate roaring louder than the Bell Center crowd on a Game 7 night. As we head back to Montreal for Game 3, the Bell Center ready to explode with passion and noise. Phillip Danault stands as the embodiment of everything this team represents. Resilience, passion, and an unbreakable connection to the Blue, Blanc, Et Rouge. If this story fires up your love for the Canadiens, smash that like button and subscribe. This is our moment, Habs Nation. Let's bring it home.